Nithyananda, everybody. Welcome to day 7 of the 30-day guided meditation challenge for beginners. Thank you so much to everybody that's already here waiting for this live stream. I gave a notice this time to let everybody know, hey, I'm going to be live at this time. So if you want to participate in this meditation, you can jump on in. So thank you for doing that waiting ahead. Yes, today we will be covering something similar to what we've already done, which is japa meditation, known as Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, that Mahavakya. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to chant it externally. So rather than have this vibrating within us, focusing on the visualization of this japa rotating in the throat center, today we're going to explore expressing that, chanting that outwards. And let's see how that feels and what that creates within us. And I was thinking about this earlier this morning after my morning yoga class. We really have been exploring a bunch of different subtle techniques and styles of meditation. And really some types of meditations resonate a lot more with somebody as opposed to a different type of meditation. And so I'm kind of glad that we've explored all these different little subtle changes, and we're going to keep doing that throughout the rest of the 30 days, the remainder of the 23 days or so. And so today, again, as I mentioned, we're going to focus on chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And just as a reminder, what this means, Om, that sound, that creation of the cosmos, the sound of the creator himself, Nitya, eternal, Ananda, bliss, Parama, the ultimate, Shiva, the creator of the cosmos, the cosmic consciousness, Hum, Shivoham, is I am that auspiciousness, I am that cosmic consciousness that is resting in a space of eternal bliss. Each time that we chant this mantra out loud, that is the space that you're holding, that you are that being. You are that all-powerful source of consciousness, the same power that created the entire cosmos. So with that being said, let's jump into chanting this externally now rather than having that visualization. And we'll do so for, again, a 5-minute meditation. Let's see how it feels for you and what your experience is. And I know for me, it's the best japa or the best mantra to chant ever. It's very empowering. This is known as the Mahavakya. My guru initiates all of his disciples into this. Once you get initiated into this, I'm not initiating you right now. He has to initiate you. But once you get initiated into it, that's when you start really expressing the various different powers, the state, space, being of Paramashiva, the divine. So I'm going to take a sip of water here. And we will chant the Mahavakya for 5 minutes. So I'll do it one time through. You can repeat with me. Om Nithyananda Parama Shivoham. So it'll go like this. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Repeat. We'll do it one more time, and then you can repeat. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Okay? So when we chant it, one last note, you're chanting that from the center of your stomach, the navel region. That's where the vibration starts to pour out of you, okay? Imagine like that's the source, the energy source of the mantra, okay? And what we'll do is I'll play a music that you can follow along with it as well, okay? So we'll do this for 5 minutes. Sit in a comfortable seated position, head, neck, and spine in a straight line, making sure that you're in a quiet space, away from all distractions. And we'll get started chanting the Mahavakya for 5 minutes.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasudashiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Last one. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Slowly start to open up your eyes again. And see if you can just notice a difference first and foremost with the vibration that you're in, the state that you're feeling before and after chanting this mantra. What you'll find is if you did chant it from the navel center first out loud, you'll notice how that alters your very frequency, the very vibration of your being. Remember, Chit Jagat Grandi, consciousness is mapped to your body, to your DNA through sound, vibration. This chanting of Mahavakya starts to untie the knot of various different patterns in our body. Ultimately, we're all just vibrations. So when we start creating a different vibration, specifically one such as Mahavakya, it's like a divine key to start opening all these different locks within us. You'll start to experience many different auspicious happenings, not just internally, but externally as well. And so I really highly encourage chanting Mahavakya every day. It's maybe one of the simplest meditation techniques. All you have to do is sit and chant, and it will leave you feeling more empowered, feeling with a deeper sense of connectivity to the divine. And as I said, it is the ultimate key. It is the ultimate chanting mantra to help you radiate the state, space, beings, super consciousness of Paramashiva. As always, if you're interested in continuing on and extending your meditation practice, I highly recommend signing up at the link in the description below for the Nirvikalpa Samadhi Jnana Yajna, which is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week global meditation happening online via Zoom, where you can, whenever you're free, sit down and join up to 10,000 people globally sitting in the space of unclutching, radiating the space of Paramashiva, holding the sankalpa, the intention to have a super conscious breakthrough for yourself and also a super conscious breakthrough for humanity. Especially during this time, it is to also help heal humanity of this COVID-19 pandemic and all of its side effects, its man-made side effects. And so if you want to really get the benefits of meditation, one, make sure that you meditate and you practice it daily. Two, you can completely 10x or 1,000x the output of that meditation, the benefits, when you sit down in a collective group. That collective consciousness is very powerful. When you're sitting in a group with, I mentioned that at the beginning of the week, I sat down on a group with 20 people for the very first time when I was starting to meditate. I was doing it on my own. My mind was all over the place. And I eventually got the courage to go and sit in a group with a bunch of, it was just a bunch of older women than me, this young teenager guy. But it was so powerful to sit down and meditate with a group of individuals, and it does not matter if you're at the same physical room or online via a Zoom room. That sankalpa is there, that intention is there to connect and to create this powerful space together. So I highly recommend checking out, learning more about that at the link in the description below, which is kailasa.tv/minutes for peace. And so with that, we'll end today's session. I'll take a couple Q&As, or I'll take a couple questions and answer those. And we can go from there. So I hope everybody enjoyed that one. Nithyanandam to everybody that's tuned in, Hit, Aryan, Srinath, Sunny. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Satya, Nithyanandam to Aryan. Aryan is saying, is it necessary to drink a sip of water? Yeah, it is sometimes. Srinath, how to know that my third eye is open? It's a really good question. When Srinath, when your third eye is open, it's like, now I have one eye open. Now I have two eyes open. You just know that it's open, right? Third eye is, there's this knowing that, okay, it's opened. Now, sometimes, yeah, it takes a little bit of a, let's say, the ego needs to release itself. The ego needs to, at some point, drop as one level of thickness within you for you to recognize that, yes, it's open now. It's like the ego is putting up this curtain, and at some point you need to move the curtain just a tiny bit so you can understand that, oh, it is open. Because your third eye may be open and you may not be aware of it sometimes. However, it is fairly often more like a knowing. When it's open, it's like something's different, something's changed. With my guru, how you know it's open is you start manifesting different powers. And if you have not yet taken Paramashivoham, it is the ultimate program. One, your Kundalini and your third eye will be awakened, without a doubt. No questions. Two, you'll start to radiate the different abilities of third eye. And it all of a sudden just gives you that understanding, I know it's opened. So it's most likely something that you will express. You'll start expressing third eye, and that's when you really know, to answer that in short. Namaste, Sunny. Namaste, Nithyanandam. Thanks for being here. Aryan's asking, I took a sip of water just for you, I guess. Aryan's asking the meaning of the hairstyle of Shiva. He has all these different ornaments and things that he does and wears. His hairstyle is the jatas. They're known as Shiva jatas, matted locks. And there's a bunch of different scriptures as well. There's two different scriptures that talk about how a yogi should be wearing his hair, that he should have matted locks, and they should be anywhere from 3. So you have 3 different separate jatas, all the way to 80. And there's specific numbers as well that they should be tied in. So you can have as many as 80 and as few as 3. However, the yogi should have jatas, and they should be tied up on his Sahasrara chakra, or all down, or half up and half down. The reason why the Shiva jatas is it helps in elevation, in elevation of consciousness. Just like everything Shiva does, everything has a purpose. No matter what it is, you might feel like doing a daily enema. That we do a daily enema as part of our Shuddhi Kriyas. It's called Jalabasti. It has a very strong importance in detoxifying the body, to keep Kundalini awakening happen fluidly within you. And you'll notice if you start doing a daily enema, the difference in that experience of Kundalini Shakti, if your Kundalini is awakened. And maybe if it's not, but I can only speak on ever since my Kundalini was awakened. Same thing with the Jatas. When you tie your hair up on top of your Sahasrara chakra, or just have Jatas in general, it really does give you a different experience. Like, your head is so much heavier. It's tough to explain. So you're constantly having your awareness on Sahasrara chakra. Just like having the kumkum on the third eye, you constantly have your awareness on Sahasrara chakra. It helps in mapping consciousness to your being. My guru really described it beautifully one time. I'll see if I can track that down and I'll post it in the description afterwards. I can't remember what he said verbatim, so I'm not going to say the line. But he ultimately was talking about how each jata, it pulls at your scalp. And the way the brain works is with certain tugging at the various points on the head, it affects the actual structure within your brain, the brain activity. So it's not just having the weight and whatnot, but the way that it pulls at the top of your head has a purpose as well. So the Shiva Jatas are a part of the yogic lifestyle. And you'll see every sadhu wear them. Every sadhu has Shiva Jatas. There's scripture that says also, if one does not have Shiva Jatas, their head should be shaved. Or if their head is shaved, they should not have Shiva Jatas. So that's a good question. Sunny's asking, in this modern life, should we run behind money or family or moksha? I think it sounds like you already know the answer to your question. That the answer is never going to be the same for everybody, because ultimately we all have different paths and different journeys towards that ultimate moksha. Ultimately, in everyone's lifetime or in everyone's circle of life and death, the absolute ending is moksha. It may not be in this birth for billions of people. However, it may be for some. And if you're starting to question that, I would just encourage you to continue questioning that and seeking that. To find out your answer, start internalizing more of the deeper spiritual truths. I recommend, if you have not yet read Living Enlightenment, I recommend that to so many people, just because I really feel that if people had the context of life and the various different spiritual truths that are taught in that book, it'll help them answer these questions for themselves rather than have somebody give you that answer. But if you're questioning this right now already, I already have a strong sensation of what the answer is for you. But I'll post in the comments right now what I mean. If you can go to this link, you can get the free book, Living Enlightenment. Very powerful. Definitely help. Satya is saying really vibrant. Okay, awesome. That means I'm assuming you're talking about the Mahavakya. It is a very powerful meditation, a very powerful chanting. We would sit together with thousands of people, over 1,000 people, chanting this in my guru's ashram. And it was so powerful. You could only imagine that place. And him obviously being there, he was at the center of it in his energy field. It was just like something that you really need to experience. And the way to tap into that is definitely by chanting this continuously. Prita, hello. Namaste. Satya is saying, when I'm practicing meditation, my legs are not getting blood and becoming senseless. How to solve my problem? So it depends on the way you're sitting. If you're sitting in a chair or if you're sitting cross-legged and your legs are just falling asleep, I did a video on this on my TikTok, actually, talking about, and I need to do one for YouTube, but how to be able to sit in Padmasana. I used to, like, my legs used to be like this, like my knees would be so high up because my hips were so tight when I would sit down cross-legged, and they would just get so sore after 5 minutes. I had to stand up. But after I did that, I'd sit in a chair, and then once my legs kind of relaxed again, I would like massage the hips a bit, and then I'd sit back down for as long as I could again. I would just continuously sit as long as I could. That's it. It's the only solution. You have to get your body to start opening up by sitting, by putting yourself in the position to allow the hips to open up. Just let gravity do its natural work, sitting cross-legged whenever you have an opportunity. If you're reading a book, if you're on the phone, watching a TV, or whatever you're doing, do it cross-legged, sitting down on the floor. Let your hips get really sore. Start massaging them. Sit as long as you can. Then when you can't handle it anymore, stand up, walk around, sit in a chair, and then come back and continuously be sitting cross-legged. That's the only way. For me, that's exactly how I got rid of the problem. It wasn't even necessarily stretching all the time. I was just practicing sitting. So I would recommend that for you, Satya. How can married men perform brahmacharya? That's a good question. Ultimately, brahmacharya does not mean like just reducing the orgasms. It means living as God. So anybody can be brahmacharya, living as God. Now, when you're in a relationship with somebody, are you really cognizing them as a divine being? Is it two divine beings uniting? If not, and it's more of a sexual pleasure, and it's more of a lust pattern that's being expressed, then that's certainly not anywhere near the brahmacharya. Now, I can't really say it is brahmacharya or not if two married individuals do have sexual intercourse, but the closest thing to brahmacharya, if you're married, is to see and cognize the other being as the divine. When you do that, when you embrace yourself as the divine, live as God, and from that divine space, from the space of love, connect with that individual, then that would be the closest that you would be to practicing brahmacharya as a married individual. That's a really good question. Aryan, what should I call you? Swamiji, Guruji, or bro? Please do not call me Swamiji or Guruji. I'm not a Swami. I am not a guru. If you'd like, you can call me an Acharya. I am an ordained Nithyananda Yoga Acharya. Or you can just call me Dridha. If you want to call me bro, you can. Just please, I would say, refrain from calling me Swamiji or Guruji. I get that a lot from a lot of my Indian followers. I appreciate that. I truly do appreciate the love and respect that you show to me, but it's not necessarily the only master. The only guru here is my guru, Bhagavan Nithyananda. Kanaki is saying, yo, my favorite hockey team is the Minnesota Wild. Nice. Is NoFap necessary for enlightenment? The short answer is no. My anxiety gets worse when I try it. It can be hard for a teenager. I totally understand it can be very hard to practice NoFap as a teenager. However, it is maybe one of the best things that you can do for yourself, especially during this time. And especially if you're a teenager and you're going through this, like you're listening to this, you're watching this video right now, and you're a teenager. Oh my goodness, you are so far ahead of the game. You know, I didn't have a spiritual awakening until I was 27. So many people don't have it until they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s. So to be a teenager and to have the spiritual awakening is awesome. I know it's a challenge to do NoFap. However, there's a ton of benefits when you do so. Go to my YouTube channel, type in NoFap, and I have a playlist there. I think 4 or 5 different techniques that you can incorporate. Do them. Try them out with integrity and authenticity. I promise you, and I guarantee you will have a very supportive system when you incorporate those meditations and those kriyas. I know it's a challenge, but it's a well worth battle to fight. And I commend you for doing that at such a young age. It's awesome. Hope that helps too. You're welcome, Sunny. Glad you got the link. What should the routine be of brahmacharya? The routine of brahmacharya, I would say, is the same routine as any yogi. So you should have a spiritual practice, sadhana, that you stick to with full integrity. For us in my Guru Sangha, every morning I'm waking up at 4:15. Sometimes I'll hit the alarm and I'll stay up until 4:30, but I really can't. That's pushing it too close for me. I'll go and do it's a ritualistic cleansing, taking the morning bath. I do my kriyas, my Shuddhi kriyas, and then I teach yoga at 5 o'clock, and then after that we have puja at 6:15, and then after that we're sitting and we're meditating globally, and then during that process we also have satsang that's played in the evening. In India, that would happen after our puja. And so just that spiritual routine is really important, whether you're brahmacharya or not, whether you're somebody that's seeking or not. Spiritual morning routine or a morning routine is really important, especially if you're wanting to embrace brahmacharya. Spiritual morning routine is even that much more important. Kanaki, yo, did you see my other message saying I look like Barry McConaughey? I don't know who that is. He must be good looking though. Nikki, Dana, Nithyananda. Does your guru get broad support from Hindu leaders in India during this persecution? Yeah, I would say he does. Any real Hindu will recognize him for what he's doing. It's as simple as that. All the real prominent Hindu leaders are attacked, and there's a reason for that. And so I think, but any Hindu leader that's an authentic Hindu leader recognizes and sees what he's contributing to not only Hinduism, but humanity. Kaniki's asking about my thoughts on Buddhism. I have nothing but love and respect for Buddhism. I started out practicing Zen meditation before, and I was more drawn towards Buddhism at the beginning. I actually didn't know about Hinduism, but I was drawn towards Buddhism, and then that drew me towards Hinduism. Buddhism obviously has a lot of different approaches to life as Hinduism is like there's a lot of different ways. Like Hinduism is more of a celebration in so many different dimensions of life. Buddhism wasn't as much of that, just from my own experience and from what I had come across. I loved Zen meditation though. It's nothing but love and respect for Buddhism, which is actually a sect of Hinduism. It's a branch of Hinduism. If you go far back, you'll be able to notice that. Can you please tell me something about karma? Also, ego, death. Please put some light on this topic. Bit meditation. From Pooja. Hey, Pooja. So karma, I talked about this in a short video I did on TikTok, actually. There's 3 different types of karma. The first type is called sanchita karma. Means before taking birth, you have this big bank. You have this central bank of all your karma. That's called sanchita karma. But when you take birth in this birth, you don't take all the money out of the bank. You only take some money out of the bank. And so when you come down to planet Earth in this body, you choose to take a few different karmas, and you come and you play in this world to burn these types, these just this fraction of karma. The problem is sometimes we don't even burn that karma, and we accumulate new karma during this life itself. And so the whole goal of life is to ultimately burn all of the sanchita karma, all of the cosmic bank that you have of karma. But sometimes we don't burn it in this birth, like our goal and our intention was. And sometimes we start accumulating even new karma that goes to the bank, and we almost fall further in debt almost. And so the process of burning karma is very simple, the simplest technique. And this is from the Kularnava Tantra. Karma melts like butter in the presence of Guru. I think I might be paraphrasing that a tiny bit, but karma melts like butter in the presence of Guru. When you're in the presence of Guru, he puts you in all the positions and all the scenarios you need to be put in to burn that karma. Like, you don't know, you can't really remember what karma it is that you came down with, right? You're just like living life. Guru knows. He knows what karma you need to burn. And so when you're in his space or her space, they help you burn that karma. So ultimately, if you want to burn karma, drop ego, accept a guru, accept a master, and they will liberate you from the cycle of birth and death. I hope that helps. Bina, do you have a bath directly after waking up? Yes. Nikki's saying truth. I'm not sure to what, but glad that something resonated with you there. And do you drink something hot before starting with pranayama kriyas? I don't do any specific pranayama or kriya like on its own. I mean, Shuddhi kriyas are the cleansing techniques, but not maybe breathing techniques that you're referring to. However, before all of our Nithyananda yoga classes, you do drink water with a little bit of turmeric and honey in it, and that can be warm. Kanaki's asking, I have a question. Is the caste system a part of Hinduism? I don't know how much about the topic except what I learned in school. The caste system in Sanatana Dharma is beautiful. However, the caste system, as per the British, instilled within India, is not the same caste system. It's different. Sanatana Dharma acknowledges that, look, some people are designed to be businessmen. They're just made to be businessmen and to be successful in that way. Some people are meant to be in the field and working on the farms. That's just the way of life. It's not about, oh, you're higher, you're lower. It's not about that at all. However, when the British came, after murdering millions of people, raping millions of people, converting millions of people, they understood to, quote, destroy the backbone of India, they need to get rid of the caste system that was currently in existence. So the caste system that you're probably learning about is not the actual caste system as per Sanatana Dharma. So I really encourage you to look that up. Shubhan, hi, my name is Shubhan. Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. You're from India, awesome. Aryan's asking, what's my real name? My real name is Sri Nithya Dridhananda. Yes, that's my spiritual name that my guru has given me. I do plan on changing it legally, but that is my real name. It's the name I prefer to go by. If somebody calls me by my birth name, unless it's my family members that are struggling with still accepting my real name, I just don't acknowledge, and I ask them to please call me Drida. Just seeing if there's any more questions. So many more questions coming in today. I appreciate it, everybody. Is guru necessary for yoga, or we can accept Lord Shiva? I'll give you guys a little hint of, is guru necessary? I have tons of scriptural references on the importance of guru. Here's one. In this life, when the results are obtained quickly, it is due to the practice in the previous life and with the fortunate company of a guru. This prana reaching to the head through the posterior path and not through any other channels, with the grace of the guru. When Kundalini that was from the Hatha Tattva Kamadi. This is from Gorakshapadati. They will certainly attain freedom from yoga, all sins achieved. They'll receive perfection in yoga. Hatha Pradipika Svatmarama, when the dormant Kundalini gets aroused by the grace of Guru. What else? Hatha Ratnavali, success in yoga can be attained by scriptures, grace of Guru, and yoga, and grace of Shiva. So it's all, I can give so many different scriptural references about Guru. It is grace of Guru. Guru awakens Kundalini. Guru awakens third eye. You are not practicing yoga unless you have a Guru, an Acharya, and acknowledge Ishvara, Shiva. And this is not what I'm saying. This is what the masters everybody that's practicing Hatha Yoga today, they're doing so in a form that is not aligned to even the masters that revealed Hatha Yoga. Sage Svatmarama, one of the most important aspects that he says is acknowledging Guru. It's not one of the most. He starts off by saying it all has to do with grace of Guru, having Guru. That is how you have a Hatha Yoga practice. Unless you have a Guru, you do not have a Hatha Yoga practice. That's the truth. This is what the scriptures say. This is what the Apta Pramanas, Atma Pramanas, and Shastra Pramanas, Shiva is saying as well. Liberation happens through grace of Guru. Yoga happens through the grace of Guru. The Adi Yogi, the first Guru himself, was Lord Shiva. And he himself has said the way to liberation is through the grace of Guru. The Guru is me. The Guru is Shiva. So last few questions here. We're dragging on. 43 minutes. I wasn't planning on going that long. But thank you to everybody that's asking all these questions. Howard is saying, thanks for replying to my last question. Another one, I'll pull this up. Another one to do. Which one to do? Hatha, Ashtanga, Kundalini. Hard to know what is true yoga and what is a Western bastardization. It's a really good question. Thank you for asking this, Howard. All yoga is Kundalini yoga. There's no such thing as Hatha yoga, which is separate from Kundalini yoga. If you practice Hatha yoga authentically, it is Kundalini yoga, because Hatha yoga comes from the revelations of Sage Svatmarama, Sage Gorakhnath. Both of these two great masters spoke in depth about awakening Kundalini with this practice. So Kundalini yoga, I actually have not studied the exact source of where it's come from, but I would like to know, and maybe it's something I should take some time to research, because Hatha yoga is Kundalini yoga. You can't practice Kundalini yoga without Hatha yoga. Also, Ashtanga yoga, I can't speak a ton on Ashtanga yoga, but if it's not awakening Kundalini, then it's not an authentic yoga practice. And again, this is just what the scriptures are saying. This is what current enlightened masters of today are saying, what previous avatars are saying, what Shiva is saying. They're all saying the original yoga comes from Lord Shiva. It is known as Shiva Sabdava yoga, and one that practices the form of yoga that Lord Shiva revealed is known as the Nithya Yogi, eternal yogi. This form of yoga is ever irrelevant. When you practice this ever irrelevant form of yoga, means it's a science. 2 + 2 is ever irrelevant. It's always going to equal 4. The science of yoga that Lord Shiva revealed is a science that is always going to be relevant. And if you want to practice that today, the only form of yoga that I've come across, and which is why I'm now a disciple of my guru, is Nithyananda yoga. He is reviving the original yoga as per the scriptures. Anything that we do, anything that we teach, there's a source scripture for it. Means I can say this comes from Shastra Pramana, whether it's Shiva, this comes from even something like Krishna. We can have an Apta Pramana from Patanjali, an Atma Pramana, Goraknath, Svatmarama, all these different enlightened masters. They are our sources for why we practice something and why we actually perform something. Along with that, the revelations that my guru has revealed as well. And again, this is known as Nithyananda yoga. If you're interested in learning the original yoga as per the source scriptures, that is Nithyananda yoga. It is the original yoga. And if you're interested in that, you can check out the link in the description below. I'm about to launch our first class, our first webinar to introduce people to this original yoga. And basically, it's just a ton of scriptural references that I'm going to point to show that, look, this is what the masters are saying yoga actually is. It's not this westernized version that a lot of people think it is. It's something completely different. And it's a really profound class. And it's all thanks to my guru. He's revived all of these different scriptures. And if I think that you'll probably really enjoy it, Howard, if you're asking that question. So I highly, highly recommend, specifically Howard, check out the link in the description, how to practice the original yoga. I think that's what it's titled. And I think the link is actually tiny.cc/original yoga class. And you can sign up there. And then anybody else that is interested in learning this as well, check that out too. So thank you for asking that again, Howard. Oh, I lost my spot. Harish, hi. I did Mulabandha and Jalandhara Bandha for 19 days. It cured many of my problems, but I'm not feeling lust. Also, no erection. Please help. That's a good thing. If you've gone beyond lust and the erections, the random erections, that's a good thing. Root says I skipped your cue. See. After one dies, does he get completely absorbed into the ultimate consciousness and lose all individuality for eternity? Or does he go to a loka, which is an actual place, and retain some form of existence? It's a really good question. He goes to a different loka. He or she goes to a different loka. So it does not mean that you right away, like you just get lost in that state of Paramashiva. You go to almost like a waiting room in a sense. And you retain that individual sense of existence. It's still a very blissful state of existence. However, it's not a total immersion. Excuse me. It's not a total immersion into the divine consciousness as you are curious to know about. Satya, you're very welcome. Bina, you're very welcome. Pradipta, do you believe in idol worship? again, I could give another scriptural reference for this. Idol worship, there's no such thing as like, we worship God through an idol. It's not the idol itself that we worship. God, the deity is God. God is in the deity. Prana Pratishta has happened. Life force, the life energy of the divine is existing in that deity. Harish is saying, I want to get back my lust. No, I'm not going to teach you that. Lust is a base emotion. That's like saying, I want to live in fear as much as I can. Can you tell me how to get that back? I will not do that. Fear and lust is the root of existence. The Muladhara chakra is where fear and lust reside. The process of life is to bring up the life force energy, raise it up along the Kundalini through all the different layers of existence. You are on the right path if you are dropping this lust pattern. If you're not married yet, it doesn't, just because you're not married does not mean that you should be having lust. And even that if you are married, it's a good thing to not be lustful as well. Okay, last question here. How powerful cognitions give us superpowers? Superpowers are powerful cognitions. Powerful cognitions are superpowers. In a lot of scenarios in life, it's just simply a powerful cognition that can help liberate you in that moment. Let's say you're stuck in some room with somebody or something that you don't want to be in. A powerful cognition of, look, I can just choose to get up and leave. That's very subtle, but it's a powerful cognition to get you, to liberate you out of a certain situation. When you map this very simple thought processes to different dimensions of life, they become superpowers. So rather than say, a lot of times people play with their third eyes. Like if you're looking for your car keys, for instance, and you get in a panic state and you're like, where's the keys? Where are the keys? And you start getting fearful, like I'm late, I'm not going to make my meeting. A powerful cognition is, no, my third eye is open. Let me connect to Paramashiva. Show me where my car keys are. That powerful cognition, even if you don't somehow find and have this vision of where they are exactly, you're liberating yourself from that anxiety, that stress. And the more that you do connect to your third eye and say, no, where are my car keys? The more that you'll be able to express powers of third eye as well. So superpowers and powerful cognitions, they are the same thing. And they constantly not only liberate you, they elevate you to higher levels of existence. It's a good question, Gerard. I hope that helps. Okay, I said that would be my last question, so I got to end it there just because this has gone on quite a bit. To everybody that tuned in today for the meditation, thank you so much. Hope that you enjoyed. If you're watching this on the recording, or you're watching live but you came in late, watch the recording. The first 5 minutes is the meditation of the day. Let me know if you had any questions with it, what your experiences were in the comments section, and would be glad to answer and help any further questions moving forward, except for right now, not live. Take care, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Maddie, Aryan, Pooja, Lakshay, Satya, Howard, J-Rod, everybody else that came in. I really do appreciate. Glad you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys on future sessions, okay? Take care. Be blissful, Nithyananda, and have a great rest of your day.